What's up, everybody? It's K Rose, and you are listening and watching Back to Reality podcast. And today I have, to me, after this show prep I did, this is celebrity. Carl Walton. He is an actor, director, writer, producer, filmmaker. He's the creator of Figure It Out series. Is it DOC Studios or DOC Studios? A supporting actor and SAG Film Free, and he co-starred on Insecure. That's a lot. Like, yeah. This is my first guest that had a resume like this. Like, I was up all night. Okay, so how do it feel, like, me just listing all of that? How did that just make you feel?
It feels good, you know what I'm saying? Just going through all the accomplishments, and you know, when you in the moment of doing everything, you don't you just, your presence, so you're just doing stuff. But then when you kind of like look back and like set it all out on the table, it's like, oh dang,
I did that.
Yeah, like I did a lot.
And how old are you?
I'm 22.
22. And you just did all of that. Don't ever downplay yourself. Yeah. A lot of 22-year-olds not doing that. But I want to start the episode by asking you if you relate to this quote, because I do my show prep, and when I am interviewing people who are not really business owners, but like you're still doing something, I like to listen to different interviews kind of related to what you're doing. So a Spike Lee interview really helped me out this interview, so shout out to Spike Lee. And he said, I did not choose film chose me. Do you relate to that?
Immediately, I'm not going to say fully, not that I don't agree, but I say I can personally relate to it. Like, yes and no, because I don't know, I can't put it down to just film though, for me, because I started off actually with martial arts. Then I went into dance. I did a lot of dance, hip-hop dance. Like back in the day, I did Cab Kids, so that's where I let a lot of
you was a little kid on that.
I was one of the kids in that was like I met. So shout out to Elevated, because if you see Elevated, they're dancing.
You danced with that team?
All of them, we were all younger. That was all of us dancing together. So then I went into musicals, and then I got into acting once I got to School of Arts. So, and acting was like my first job before I got into like writing and directing and film and all these other things. But like, it's kind of bigger than just film. So it's like, I can't narrow it down to film necessarily. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. Like again,
but do you think the art shows you, or you chose the art?
I would say the art shows me.
Okay, and how was it? You said you went to Cleveland School of Arts. Yes. How was it going there?
Cleveland School of Arts changed my life. I mean, I teach there now. I'm also a teacher. I teach theater and acting for film. And when I first went to CSA, because I went to Nathan Hale in the middle school, and saying that's and because I was like one of the only like dancers there. You know what I mean? Of course, everybody else is hooping or doing the other thing and stuff. But CSA changed my life because, well, when I first got into it, I wasn't really an actor until Dr. Miller, that's who Doc Studios is after. He kind of took me in and really just taught me how to act. And it was so changing in so many different ways, because you meet people who's just as passionate as you are in the craft. It's a sense of family and community there, and it's genuine. You know what I'm saying? You know, you come into a lot of these rooms and it's not genuine love, but that was the first place it was genuine love. And then it was actually good teachings though. Like, it wasn't like the mediocre, cheese, surface level, terrible stuff. It was like CSA. It was good. Like, it was good things that we was learning.
What grade did you go? Cause don't they have do they have elementary and middle school?
Well, okay. So they have Dyke School of the Arts. That's like the middle school, elementary school, and then they got Cleveland School of the Arts. When I went there, they were still one thing though. It was like 7th grade all the way up to 12th grade. I went there my 9th grade year. So that was like freshman as a high school. That's when I went into School of Arts.
Yeah, I actually know a girl that went to Cleveland School of Arts, Kelly.
Kelly.
I think she went for singing because I think she can sing. Kelly Price.
Kelly Price, the poet?
Yeah, her birthday like Halloween.
Yeah, that's my dog.
Yeah, I grew up with her. She went to Cleveland School of Arts, and when she went, it's like she left like the middle school that we went to, and she went. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
But I didn't know. I knew what Cleveland School of Arts was, and I knew she was going for singing, but I didn't know that like it's a school that really can change your life, because a lot of y'all that went to the school is doing big things. And I remember my dad wanted me to go so bad, because a lot of people don't know this, but I danced for 10 years.
Oh, wow.
I did jazz, ballet, hip-hop, competition, tap, and tap was really my favorite one. Yeah, I didn't know. Looking back, I probably still would have never went, but looking at the people that they then mentored and just created, it seemed like a very good school. Do you think that it prepared you for the entertainment industry?
Oh yeah, for sure. Actually, and here's the thing: there's no diss toward the school, right? Love CSA, but our theater department, I can only speak for us. And our theater department and who Dr. Scott Miller was. And again, I keep mentioning his name because he impacted a lot of us. A lot of my friends are actors too.
I was gonna ask about him.
And he like over prepared us. And it's not over prepared us, but he just set us up for so much success. Because when me, my friend Javion, and Keith, we went to LA for college, we walked into the room and we was ahead of a lot of the actors that was in there. You know what I'm saying?
Good.
And we went to a PWI and we was like, only a couple of us that was black, you know what I mean? But we was also one of the strongest that was in there because of all the training that Dr. Miller put us through, not only as an actor and as an entertainer, but just as how to carry yourself as an artist and as a human, you know what I mean? Because those be important. People just saying, I just need to learn how to do this and I'll be good. But like, no, who are you as an artist? Because that's how a lot of people lose their identity as an artist, and they just kind of just be a puppet to anybody else. But we learned both of those things, so like I would say we was over prepared for.
And that's good, because you were that's just high school, right?
Yeah, that's just high school.
And the way that you talking, you would think you talking about Juilliard's. Like you would think that you talking about college. So you saying when you finally did go to college, your confidence was so much better because of what you experienced just in high school. Because a lot of people say they go to college and be like, man, high school didn't teach me nothing. You can't say that about your high school at all.
Yeah, no, not really at all, not at all. Because I mean, again, and I also make sure I go to a college that did not really specialize in academics. Like it was more so art. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew I wasn't like, I don't math and science. I don't math.
No, same. I went to a college that was strictly for media. I knew I wanted to do that. I mean, it's probably not a good thing, but I have not seen no math homework, math tests since I graduated
high school. I did not see it. I do not need it. And it's like the things that I have learned now is like taxes, credit, like that's all the stuff that you really should learn.
X plus Z.
Who need Y, X?
And he's an actor, and I want to be on the radio and stuff. It just doesn't. It don't make sense. Do you feel like that's where? I'm not gonna say where a lot of people go wrong at. Like it's never a wrong thing to go to college, but do you think more people would be successful if they go to a college that's strictly for what they want to do?
It's kind of hard to tell because I would just say like God blessed me with the vision to know what I want to do. A lot of people don't know what they want to do until you like get in there and do it. That's why they say college is kind of like testing out, and that's what it's our age at 20s and stuff is like testing shit out. So I can't fully say that's what it is because sometimes I know a lot of people don't know what they want to do. I knew what I wanted to do since I hit that stage, and I was like, oh, okay, this is what I want to get paid. This is what I want to do. I'm gonna just be in this field the whole time. So it was pretty clear cut for me all throughout. But I would definitely say where a lot of people do go wrong at though is when they go somewhere because of somebody else. And I know a lot of people, it's like, oh well,
I see he doing
my parents forced me into this, and I know that's a more complicated situation, but at the same time you have to do it for yourself. And if you don't find no like self-driven purpose to go, then you're not going to thrive in there. You're just going to be going with emotions. and then you graduate, and then it's gonna be like, oh, okay, well, I'm supposed to have a job after this, but then now you're at a desk job, you're going through the motions the whole time. So,
would you say your parents, like, were your parents always supportive of you, or when you told them like, okay, I want to do this acting thing, what was their reaction?
Yeah, so me and my parents are like this, because I'm the only child.
I'm the only child.
I'm the only child, so me and my mom is best friends. Me and my dad is super duper close.
Me too.
And it was like, you know, doesn't really. I really don't have a huge family outside of that, so it's kind of like really us three. Like we really get in my dogs, you know what I mean, and my actual dog. And we. So again, my dad, he put me into martial arts when I was like young. Then I took piano lessons. Then I took choreography. Then once I got to dance, and once they started to see I started doing musicals, they always supported me. They always took me to my rehearsals. They always, you know what I'm saying, hey, make sure whatever you need, blah, 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 we can do the best we can. And then once I got into CSA, that's when I met mentors, and it was just like, all right, bet. Once I fell in love with it, because at first it was kind of like, all right, I'm going to just do what you say because I trust you. But then once I fell in love with it, they didn't have to do nothing. For real, I was just...
With your parents?
Yeah, my parents. Like, they just support me for whatever you want to do because they just trusted my vision and trusted where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do. So
and that's so important because that kind of, I'm going to have a whole episode about this, but I don't think people and I don't think parents understand you just support, even if it don't make sense at the time, but you just supporting your kids and their interests. It builds so much confidence that even if they tell you at 6 years old, I want to be a ballerina, but then she grows to be something different, the fact that you supported her being a ballerina, she has the confidence to do any and everything. And a lot of people, I feel like that's where a lot of people lack in, is the confidence. And the confidence always starts at home, because I wanted to be on Broadway when I was little. Also, when I was little, my parents put me in, I did yoga, Spanish. I did a lot of things. They had me in so many extra activities, but dancing is where it stuck. Like, I wanted to do that so much, and I think it broke my dad's heart when I said, Daddy, I do not want to be on Broadway. Like, I kind of was thinking beyond that, because I wanted kids and be married. And you know, when you are artists like that, your life is on the road. And like I mentioned earlier in the episode, in 2019, you co-starred in Insecure. Tell me, how did you do that?
So, when I mentioned that me and my friend Javion and Keith, we went to LA, we went on damn near full ride for acting for film. It was called Studio School, Hutchin College. And my friend Javion, he was already signed with the management for this competition he did in New York, probably like 2-3 years before that. So when we went to LA, because his company, his management is in LA. So we went to LA, you know, settling in for college, taking classes, getting settled in and stuff like that. He visited his office and we went with him. After that, his management interviewed us, liked us, and we got all signed, and we was all signed under them. Then at that point, we got our own auditions and stuff like that. So my very first audition ever was Insecure. Like, that was my very first audition.
Did they have plays at your school?
Yes.
Okay, so that kind of prepared you for, like,
we had, at CSA, I did so many things. I did plays, theater plays, and at CSA, I did Playhouse musicals every single year, all cities. So I did The Wiz, Kissy McKay, Bring It On. Like, I did
Insecure was just your first, like, major big...
Yeah, it was like, Insecure was my first major, like, because everything else was, like, local that I auditioned for in Cleveland. My manager said, it was my first, like, TV, film, undersigned manager audition. Like, that was my very first audition like that. So, and it was an in-person audition too. So we went there. Me and Jamie, we both had the same audition. We went there, auditioned, and then I got a call a week later and it was like, your very first audition, you booked it, da-da-da-da. She was like, she was trying to be funny, because she was like, hey, have you ever... Because I was in school, I was editing my first film too, by the way, when I got this call. I was editing. And she was like, yeah, you ever ditched school before? I'm like, no, what are you talking about? And she was like, well, you're going to have to ditch school for the next 3 days. I'm like, why? And then she was like, oh, you got booked on Insecure, da-da-da, they want you on set tomorrow, da-da-da. I was like, oh, shit. And so I was happy as hell. Went on set the next day. It was Inglewood, like 6 a.m. We had to be there at 6 a.m. Then boom, they took me to my trailer. I'm like, like, oh shit.
I get a trailer.
I know. So I was excited about that. And then, yeah, I think I had to sign a contract. And then I got my lines. And then, because it was a block party episode. So it was like a big episode where it was a lot of celebrities, all these people was on set.
Oh, I think I know. Because I didn't watch Insecure when it first came out. So I didn't get that first experience. But I think I was still in high school when it first came out. But I recently, because now it's on Netflix. And watching it as a 23-year-old and seeing everything that's going on, how was that experience? Like, it's so, like, that was before our time. The stuff that they was going through,
yeah.
I know you weren't there through the whole season, but just knowing, and me and Issa, and just knowing the background and the stories of Insecure,
well,
how was it?
Here's the thing, though. This is crazy. Every time I tell people, it's crazy. I never watched Insecure. I didn't know what Insecure was when I booked it. I didn't even know what it was when I auditioned for it. I looked at it. I was like, oh, okay, this Insecure goes cool, but I didn't know how popular it was. I didn't know none of that. Went in there, auditioned, booked it. Even on set, I'm like, I still don't know this show. But I'm still, as an actor, you don't need to. I'm just cooking. I'll just do whatever.
Okay, so you don't need to?
Yeah, you don't need to know the show. I mean, you just need to live truthfully as your character in that moment. And then, of course, knowing the show is going to help you to learn the vibe and aesthetic. So, but I knew I couldn't watch 2 seasons by tomorrow. I
don't know, because Insecure was good.
So, yeah, that's what I hear. That's what I hear. It's crazy.
You still haven't watched it? Oh, my.
I know. I need to sit down.
You do. It's such a beautiful show.
I know. And it's so crazy because, for my show, when my show come out, a lot of people gonna be like, oh, your shows kind of remind me. It's like a mixture of All American and Insecure.
I was gonna ask you about that too.
So, but to answer your question, it was amazing. The reason why, and it's actually because I've been to a couple other sets now. I've done some stuff. But Insecure is still one of my favorite sets though, because there was just so many black people on set that I appreciated. It was like production, that was a lot of black. Cast obviously is black. And it was just fun, you know what I'm saying? It was just a big episode, so it was a lot of extras, there was a lot of moving pieces, a lot of shit going on.
And you still had your own trailer.
And met Issa Rae, and we was all in the back talking and stuff like that, and it was great.
How is she as a person?
She's good. She's great. She's very she's comedic, grounded, and she was real genuine. She's real cool. You know what I'm saying? She was locked in, but then she was also present. So that's all I can appreciate.
I feel like that's just so cool because to me, Insecure is a show that we gonna rewatch. We gonna see reruns, how we see Martin, A Different World, Cosby Show, and the fact that you was a part of that, and the fact that you on my show. And I can say I have somebody that was on Insecure. This is my first time meeting you, but I'm proud of you for that.
I appreciate that.
And like I said, I was gonna ask you. I see that you had Figure It Out series. Is that what you were writing when you got the call, or did you start that after being were you inspired so much in that moment because of that opportunity that you started Figure It Out series? I'm
not gonna say Insecure inspired me. I think it was more so for the Figure It Out series. Here's the story of that. So after I booked Insecure, that was 2019, and we was going through college, and I started doing short films in LA. Things were starting to pick up. Right. Then that's when COVID hit.
Yeah.
And so then I remember it was March, and I went home for a week because it was spring break.
And then that world shut down.
And then the world shut down. It was funny because my mom, she tricked me. She was trying to be funny. She was like, "Yeah, just come back for a week. You'll be right back out there." Cause you know me. I'm a boy. I'm like, man, this thing gonna blow over. I'm cool. I came home, shut down. And I did not go back to LA. So all my stuff was still out there. Javion and Keith, they was still out there, and that's when the world shut down. So when they came back eventually, they brought my stuff home.
I would have been funny.
We was in quarantine lockdown. I know because my dad always told me when one door closes, another one always open, right? And what I took by that, so at the moment, that's when I started binging All American. All American.
Yeah, I love
that was my shit, right? And I was like, man. Because here's the thing, it'd be little goofy, simple things that actually inspired me to do the craziest big things ever. Because it was just I just saw a Spencer Olivia edit on TikTok. I'm like, dang, I want to edit like that on some romantic cool or some stuff like that. So I was like, man, let me just start making a TV show. And at first it was gonna be all boys, and I was writing it a little bit, and I started getting idea after idea. And all my friends, we all close, strong actors. We all came from CSA. We all have like the same passion. And so then that's when I started to put the show together, and I was seeing what was going on in their lives, in real life.
Mm-hmm.
So it inspired me to like create these characters based off of them. It wasn't exactly identical to them, but it was like based off of them.
It's like your version.
Yeah, my version of it. And then that's when I was like, brought the girls together. I had this girl, Kato, Clarissa, then I called, hey, let's come over, let's read episode 1, tell me your thoughts about it. And then that's when my brother Keith, he was like my assistant director, my co-writer, and we just started like putting things together. And then I got a team, and then it just started to build. Then once I saw like the vision for like, oh, this is gonna be like the hardest thing ever. Oh, now I'm about to da. And so once we got back into school, remember we was like online. Online is terrible. First of all, for actors.
I was about to say, especially for an actor, so you can feel
like,
the energy.
who's finna act on Zoom? Like, they literally had us put up a thing on Zoom, and we're acting on Zoom. I'm like, yeah, I am. And again, the school format, like the school when I learned from there, that first year was great.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like for me personally, outside after that, it wasn't too much to benefit from, because I'm an experienced type guy. Like, I learn way better from experience than I do than just being told to me. And once figured out started to pick up, the school setup never was my thing anyways. What made me thrive is the things I did in school, but also outside of school. So like, again, I'm doing all this stuff. I mean, I have a manager, I have an agent. So yeah, after Insecure, I got signed with an agency. So like, pretty much what I went to LA for.
Like, school ain't.
I got what, because when you graduate from school.
College, or you talking about?
College. Okay. When you graduate from college, and that college specifically, honestly, one of the goals is to get signed by a manager. Agent.
And you had all of that.
I had all of that freshman year. So I'm like, well, pretty much the whole goal of this is I don't really need it. And then obviously a BFA. But BFA is more so for
what is a BFA?
Bachelor of Fine Arts.
Oh, okay.
So for that, mainly what you need for that is if you want to be like a teacher, a high prestige teacher at a place.
Oh, but you're a teacher.
I'm a teacher now. And I also don't want to teach to that degree. See, while acting in film is such a beautiful thing, is like when you hoop or when you dance, you chalk out after like 38. Like after 37, once your body
starts. Like later on in life.
You know what I'm saying? But film, you can do this shit till you're 90. You can do this forever.
Shout out to Cindy Tyson. She was.
Like Morgan Freeman. Hey, they're
old.
They're still doing it. You know what I mean? So I'm like, because usually when people teach, it's like, okay, I can't really dance no more, so I'll teach choreography, or it's like a fallback on.
But actors really just pick, like, you can choose when you want it and stop.
Yeah, and then also I'm gonna have my own stuff. I'm gonna have my own stuff to where I ain't gonna need no piece of paper because it's my company. What do I need?
Yeah, what you gonna tell me?
So at that point, that's where I dropped out of studio school and put full focus on Figure It Out. Like, I took a leap of faith and I put full focus into Figure It Out, and it just helped me. And again, All American and stuff was just inspiring me, and then after that, I kind of just took my own vision for it, and then that's when I made a pilot episode. Yeah, so once after that, I had my first screening for Figure It Out at Silver Spot. It sold out 124 seats under 24 hours. Like, the day I posted the teaser, the next day it was sold out. And so that was just like a huge blessing. And then after that, things started to pick up. People was like, hey, I want to hire you to shoot this. I want you to shoot this. Like, oh, you shot? Because I wrote it, directed, produced it, edited it. I shot it, and I also...
you like Tyler Perry.
So I did all of those things, learned it. And of course, I had, Drew was shooting with me, Keith was writing with me, and all my actors, we all like knocked it all together as a team. But after that, just things started to pick up. That's when I did the movie in Atlanta, and then I actually shot an episode for something else huge, like Insecure. I can't say it now. It's gonna come out this year though, but also it's like a couple things. I can't say nothing now, but y'all will see it soon. Everything started to pick up. Then I had a premiere at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Screened the first 6 episodes. That was sold out as well.
For Figure It Out.
For Figure It Out, yeah. And now I'm working on a couple deals with some streaming services to get it on there. Just trying to find the right place for it, and also season 2. So That's why a lot of people have been waiting for me. This series has been like in anticipation for like 3 years. And it's okay though, because good things like that takes time. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of trusting God, but like once it's out though, y'all gonna be like, oh shit, this
I see why it took so long.
And you see why it took so long. Like it's gonna be great. It's gonna be probably the best thing that ever came out of Cleveland, honestly. So that was that. So yeah, that's figured out. So it will be coming soon.
And be on the lookout. So you did mention him a lot, Dr. Scott Miller. I saw that he passed away. Talk about more how much he meant to you.
Dr. Miller was like the very first mentor I had, who I can call a mentor, who inspired not only me, but I see inspired so many people. He was so genuine, and he was like, he saved so many black people, and he was Jewish. He was like, he taught us how to be a good human. He taught us how to be a good actor. And he taught us how to be a good artist. And how much love he showed to all of us was just like, I will forever appreciate that. So once he passed away, it was like a huge hit for all the CSA theater community, the alumni community, and just CSA in general, CMSD in general, Cleveland in general. You know what I mean? Because he just touched so many lives through his pure soul and just, you know, obviously his craft and acting. So we was already in the works of working on our own studio. So I'm the co-owner. So me and my other brother, Ananias Jason Dixon, we're co-founders of this studio. And once he passed, we named it after him, Doc Studios. So D means development, O means opportunity, and C means community. Because those are like the big three things that Doc was all about. He was all about developing you, give you opportunities, and also give you a family in the community. So that's when we created the studio. Now we're a nonprofit, and we've been having community Mondays every other Monday. I'm talking about people who's been coming out, 40, 50 people. We play improv games. We open people up. So people who want to get into acting, they can learn how to open up and be a family and kind of see how we're kind of like giving CSA how CSA was. Now we're giving the adult version. Now everybody can experience what it is.
And you don't have to go there to
experience.
Get the experience.
Yeah, to get the experience. We're carrying on his legacy, his torch. So then we're opening up our development classes, and then we're going to have opportunities where we have showcases. We're going to do like movies, like actual movies, and we're going to have agencies and people from LA, Atlanta, they're going to fly in and be a part. So it's going to be a whole big thing that we're already working on. And I mean, just recently we just like blew up on TikTok for like 700,000 views and like 200,000 likes, stuff like that, just from our improv games and Doc Studios and everything else. We just hit like 14, 15K followers the other day. So we're just pushing everything out, and it's kind of like, again, putting Cleveland in that new light of not only we're producing great work, but we're also giving people a platform to come learn from us too.
Yeah.
So, and it was all came from Dr. Miller. It was like, what better way to honor what he did for all of us than just, you know, do
passing on what he taught to y'all, and y'all passing it on to other people.
Mm-hmm.
So what is some advice you would give to an inspiring actor, producer, writer, director?
Some advice I would give is just do it. I think a lot of us is always trying to wait for a perfect time, but there is never a perfect time. Mm-hmm. And for me, when I started, again, I was just blessed to be thrown into a community that was like molded me and nurtured me. But like, once I got out to the real world, I also kept that same mentality, and I just did it. Figured it out, I just did it. I didn't have nothing, no money. I didn't have a camera. I had to learn.
Like when you went to college, or
when I went to college, when I came back and started my series, I did not have a camera.
Ooh.
I didn't have none of that shit. I had none of that. But I stayed driven. I stayed disciplined. I stayed focused at that tunnel vision. I just learned as I went. I also use other people. Like, not use people, that's the wrong word.
Network across.
Network across. Do right by each other and also support each other. I think that's just the biggest thing because sometimes people like to try to do it all alone. You can't do it alone. Mm-hmm. And until you realize that, you'll never reach that goal that you want to get to. And so the most I would say is like, take out the time to learn the craft, love the craft, and just do it. I mean, that's the most I can say, because people just kind of get into acting, kind of get into filmmaking and writing, thinking it's like, oh, I want to do it just for the fame, or I want to just do it just because. But it's like, no, like this craft takes a long time to master, to a long time to learn, and you have to always be a student. So
I feel like that goes for everything. Always be willing to be able to get taught something. Like, you don't know everything.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that would be my advice.
Okay, well, tell them where to follow you at, where to follow Doc Studios, everything.
So, y'all can follow me on Instagram, with 2 dots, .Carl. In my bio, you'll see my Figure It Out series page. Also, you'll see Doc Studios. And then also follow those 3 things on TikTok as well. And also on YouTube. It's the same names on every single one. And then also my website will be coming out soon, to where you can book with me, talk with me, see everything that I've accomplished, and all the above. So be on the lookout.
Well, thank you for coming. This was such a good episode. Like, I have been really, I had Johnny Filmworks Wicks on there, but I haven't really tapped into the acting and entertainment industry like that. So this was such an eye-opener for me. You can follow me at Mediagurll, girl spelled Gurll, on Instagram. And you can like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, Back to Reality Pod. And thank you for watching.
Appreciate y'all.